Hi everyone, nice to see you again and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I paint blue jellyfish, and this is one of my favorite subject for the watercolor, and I like the transparent color. First, I hope you have watercolor art materials, and first step I start used my mop brush and try to use the very pure blue color to drawing the jellyfish, the shape. And this for the use the technique wet into wet. And first focus on the shape, and also you can use some just water. But why I used a little bit the blue color in there? Because I want to remind myself the shape. It's just the water, they might a bit confused about the shape. And then second step, I add more pigment. This color is I use a lot of blue and follow my first shape. And you can see the blending with the water. So that's make a lot of like further feathers edge. That's the texture. I feel like they really looks like jellyfish. Some like the more intense color come out. Some is because mixing more water, so they getting lighter color. And some the line is really clear, and some line getting blurry. So that's make a good balance and more interesting. So that's why I love watercolor. They can make a lot of different effect. And in this step, if you want to make more different levels, hope you can always remember, go back your palette or pigment box and control your amount of water and the ratio of the pigment, because they are more water or less water can make a really different result. So in this step, you can see my jellyfish, the head still wet. And this paper is A5, a bit roughly paper. Left one picture is my painting, what I finished. So the right side is just to show you the process. And now I started to drawing the main part. And in this part, make a more curved line is very useful if you want to make the more sphere shape. And I try to avoid make a parallel line. Try to make some in different position. So some longer, some short one, and some area thicker. That also can make the surface is uneven. And the jellyfish, they have many, like we can call them like legs, and they have a lot of space inside. So I add some intense color to make they have some deep gap between the legs. And I try to avoid make too much area for the intense color, because I want to make the jellyfish is looks like on the water, so they float. So that's why I avoid to make a very harder line. In this step, you don't worry about the color layers. You can step by step. You can see when I finish my legs of the jellyfish, the main body still wet. And also that depends on what kind of paper you use and the weather as well. If your weather is very dry temperature, so your paper may be dry faster than my one. And if your weather is raining, so they might more moisture in there. So always needed to fill your paper. And I started to doing my second jellyfish. So the step is the same with the first one, and start drawing with the outline and some legs. Most of time when we drawing the first layer, they always getting too blurry because the paper still wet. but when we add more pigment, they will getting thicker and more strong contrast. So that is a watercolor always need to be patient to build up the layers. And I like to build up with the layers with the color. So that's for me is like a game. So I always with lots of fun with the color and the shape, because I know I don't need it to be hurried. And these two jellyfish, even I used all blue color, I try to avoid make a similar blue. Like you can use the ultramarine blue or Prussian blue. The slightly different, and I also maybe mixing these two blue, so make they are not too different. And also I used my central of the brush to make they are more middle level for them. Maybe some line is too precise, so I add the second layer to make more good balance. Now I started use my Chinese brush to emphasize some detail, and I try to a bit follow my second layer, just make more depth. Like they have some texture on the skin surface and they have some fold. But in this step, we still have to think about the light source to make them more 3D. And also the Chinese brush is very useful to emphasize kind of that smooth line and gap as well. If you never use the Chinese brush, you might need more practice, like just drawing some few line curvely straight and with a different angle. That will be help you to more familiar with this brush, because Chinese brush is very soft, but that means they can make more good line. And when you choose the Chinese brush, hope you choose one for painting, because they have another one is special for the writing. And in this step, you can see I also add some very fine line to make they looks like swimming underneath in the water. And the top jellyfish I make really busy for the legs. The bottom one I just choose some line because I want they have a good balance and they have a focal point in the first one. And I think watercolor is really good for painting jellyfish and like a goldfish. Okay, so in this step I almost finish my painting, and I do some splatter with the blue to make it looks like water. So hope you enjoy today's video, and see you next week. And I have some online class. If you have interesting, please leave the message. See you next time.